sizing it up that in maybe 2 minutes. Let's just go for this one. Here's one. Hey, I love those. I know. I like the one of those women's team that won, they got like two points for the classes. Isn't that them? What do you have to do to get the fan? Huh? Well, like, what, why does it say how to get the fan?
Was in the van, not in the office.
Well, is that the case? The bus?
Hello everyone,
Mine
welcome
is
to
not.
the Indigenous Round, a celebration of our past, our cultural heritage, and especially the legends that came out of this town. But before I start my official welcome, I'd like to use a quote. He's from a bloke that I thought was a bit of a gun, and
Good evening and welcome to Gardens Oval for round 7 action of your NTFL Premier League season. Tonight is Indigenous round, kicking off with the clash between the Wanderers and the Darwin Buffaloes. 7th versus 9th on the table. Not necessarily the most mouth-watering clash you've got, but both teams will be desperate for a win and coming out firing. Just looking into the centre of the ground, and it's the Buffaloes who've won the coin toss from Jared Stokes. They'll be kicking to the right of your screen tonight. Mitch Taylor also heading back to his Wanderers squad now. I'm Will Zwar. With me is Stu Davis. And Stu, I think we're in for a big night. It's relatively dry and still here, but not too hot or sweaty.
No, not too bad. There was a bit of a storm looming this afternoon, but avoided us. So not much on the horizon at the moment. So conditions pretty good. Bit of a nice breeze, and so pretty comfortable for the players, I would have thought. But a great clash to open Indigenous round. Traditional rivals in Wanderers and Buffaloes, and it's a bit of a tough one to call, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, as we mentioned, there's only one win between these two sides in the 7 rounds we've had so far, so both will be pretty hungry for a win. Neither side really has a lot of recruitment from down south this year. It seems like it could be a bit of a clash of the local lists with a lot of familiar names from the junior squads when these guys were just young tackers. But still, as I said, both a lot to fight for, and still some pretty impressive names. Two in particular, which I can see in the double blues outfit tonight, is Matt Campbell, former North Melbourne player, pulling on the boots for I think the first time this year, and another one is big number 44 in the ruck. His name, Ben Archard, had a very dominant season a few years ago, probably one of the Premier Leagues in the ruckman that we've seen for the last few years alongside Matt Dennis. Yeah, absolutely correct, and I don't think he played at all last season, so great to see him back for Buffs. And you know, they really have been lacking in that ruck area, I think. So good to have a big, strong unit in there that can dominate in the middle of the ground. And obviously the other important one back in for, or two of them back in for Buffs, is Liam Holt-Fitz and Tom Simpson, who was terrific early in the season. He missed out a couple of weeks ago when I was watching Buffs down at Kazali's Oval. But they're important ins, and Mitch Taylor back this week after being out injured last week is an important one for Wanderers. One big out this week, Baxter Mensch, not sighted on the field or on the team sheet, so it'll be interesting to see where they can pick up the slack in the middle of the ground. Maybe it will be through first use of the ball, and looks like they'll get it through Ben Archard. Hits the ball down first of all, might follow up for attack for a first possession, but instead it's the Wanderers who paddle it forward, now trying to get their hands on it first. Looks like we'll have a ball up in the centre of the ground early in the stage of this one. Yeah, good to see Archard get off the ground early, and now he's just using his strength, getting in front and patting it down for his teammates. Williams got the hand pass out, but it was Wanderers with the clearance through Sinclair, kicked it high down towards half forward, the ball on the ground, and Buffalo's first hands on the ball, and it just held a bit too long in the tackle down there, and the free kick, I think that might be Jones down there, who kicks wide to the outer side of the ground. A big leap from over the back of the pack, but the mark's not taken, and now Wanderers a chance at half forward with hands on the ball, but it just went without the football that time and allowed Buffs to come in, and they're running it out of defence now as Eldridge has made a little bit of space in the centre of the ground, and he's got an outside runner here who he uses, and nicely done, and a short pass there from Hutchison into the captain, Jared Stokes. He's got a lead in the forward pocket, and the kick is fantastic inside forward 50. Plenty of energy in that forward line for Buffs, and Stokes had a couple of options, but in the end it was Harrington who made some space at half forward, and he'll go back and have the set shot. Nice movement and intensity early from the Buffs. You can see they know this is definitely 4 points they can get if they take the chance. Harrington, you'd think within striking range, tight angle. Oh, he's kicked it very well, but just hasn't put enough on it. Goes through to the near side. First score of the day, one behind to the Buffs. Yeah, as you said, good build-up and terrific delivery inside 50 from Jared Stokes, as we've come to expect. Mitch Taylor, Wanderers captain, will bring the ball back into play. He's stepped out of the square, so called to play on now. And he goes the short option and finds Piercy at half-back. He goes short again, and Wanderers happy to chip it around. It's going to go out close to the boundary line, but Horrigan takes the mark without too much trouble, just inside his defensive 50. elects to kick long down the line. It's close to the boundary line. Holt Fitz getting a fist to the ball and sees it over the boundary line. Perhaps could have let that one go and it might have floated out on the full, I think, Will.
Yeah, I think you're right. Probably got a hand to it when he didn't need to. Good for him to get a touch on it early. He could be a real X factor in tonight's game. Ball goes in from the boundary line, taken out from Archard. Gives away a free kick, though, for a push in that contest. And it's a relatively quiet crowd here. If you're watching from home, feel free to head on down. As we said, two really hungry teams at it tonight. Be great to get a few more numbers through the gate. It'll be Kane Cox taking it at half-back. He goes down the line. Campbell, in fact, I think it's Timmy Eldridge who's gotten a hand to it, and again made a spoil. Probably a bit more urgency there.
Yep.
But again, almost could have let it through and it would have gone out on the full.
Yeah, but they look hungry, don't they? Which is a good sign because they had the bye last week, and before that, of course, a big loss against the top side Southern District. So they're looking to bounce back positively here tonight and looking good so far as the hand pass comes outside to Eldridge. Just slips through the hands of Holt Fitz there and tied it up, and Wanderers the chance to rebound the other way as White takes the mark on the wing, looking to switch the ball into the centre of the ground. A little bit too much on it, but Horrigan will run onto it out there, and now he picks up and delivers inside forward 50. Brenton Motlop coming out from full forward, but just goes over his hands. Bradley Stokes tidies up for Buffs with the hand pass to Simpson, and now they're away out to the outer side of the ground where the mark's taken, and off and running is Harrington again for Buffs on the left foot. He delivers inside forward 50. Oh, up high, the mark almost taken, but just knocked away in the end, and Wanderers across half-back desperately defending, but there seems to be more pale blue jumpers in there at the moment as the Buffs forwards and mids have pushed forward and got themselves around the ball, but no one can take any clean possession there, and it's a stalemate and will be a ball up.
Wanderers look relatively well set up in their defensive half. Dos Santos with the helmet on, with a very important smother just a few moments ago. Now picked up by the loose defender and just belted down the line. Oh, could have been a mark there to Bradley Stokes, but he didn't take it. I think that's Simpson who gets a handball through, goes through his teammates' hands. Wanderers now to mop it up. Picking it up is Collinson. Snaps it forward, deep into the pocket, nearly into the hot spot. Misses everyone, bounces over the top. Then running through. Oh, the Buffs player couldn't quite take it there in Irwin. And looks like the Muck-Mucks will rebound, get it out of their defensive 50, and a safe mark at half-back. It's a play on, or run his full measure there, has Trewin. An umpire has paid advantage for a trip there, paid against the Buffs player. Now inside the pocket, that kick not a good one over the top to Brenton Motlop. Could have hit him and had a shot on goal, instead rolls out over the boundary line.
Yeah, the advantage call paid there. Interesting one, isn't it? So the free kick's paid. Does that mean he starts his 15 metres again? But he kept running, but just overcooked the kick a bit, unfortunately, for Wanderers. So back into play now as Big Archer pats it down for Buffs, and the clearing kick comes out, but it's all Wanderers parked underneath this one, and Maraka takes the mark, kicks inside forward 50, has delivered that beautifully, and out on the long lead. The mark taken, I think it's, is that Shane Thorne out there?
No, I think it might be Jake Trewin.
Oh, yeah, of course it is. Trewin, of course, who's been in terrific form for Wanderers this year so far. Just had a bit of a quiet one last week against Nightcliff, but he'd be keen to get himself on the board early. Probably
a similar shot, but down the other end to where Harrington had his shot just a few minutes ago. Let's see how he goes. And he's happy with that one, just snuck it through. But Wanderers, they get the first on the board through Jack Trewin and lead by 5 points after 6.5 minutes. Yeah, again, a good build-up there, good use of the ball inside 50. Trewin out on the lead, and he looked confident all the way, didn't he? He's, as I said, he's been in good goal-kicking form. I think he had 11 goals before last week's game, and he's off to the start that he was looking for, a couple of early touches and a goal. So, yeah, that's it's a good start for Wanderers after Buffs had opportunities as well. So Jack Sinclair coming in to do the ruck work for Wanderers now against Archard. No, it's not. He's just stepped out of the circle. Fuller, Daniel Fuller doing ruck duties. Ball just bounced astray in the middle. Now being worked backwards by the Wanderers, and it's a handball from Waite They get it out of there through Motlop of the Matthew variety. Turned over at half-back, though. Ducking his head and getting through was East. Now kicks it forward. Looking for Stafford. Couldn't get into a favourable position. Now running back with it. And Wanderers get through Horrigan. Now with Tyson White at half-back. Just looking for a target. Finds a short and safe one there in Crofts. Another short one over to Sinclair, and now they're away. Fuller inside 50 to a lead, spills through hands. Buffs, if they can take it cleanly, might have an out on this near side. They can't. Wanderers with a chance to pounce. Fuller just gets boot to ball, and from the top of the square, rolling it through and kicking the goal there was David Ferreira.
Yeah, Ferreira just out in a bit of space. Ball came over to him, and a clear passage in front of him to the goal, and just dribbled it through. So some efficiency from Wanderers with a couple of goals in their last couple of forward entries. So despite the energy that Darwin showed early on, it's Wanderers with the early advantage in this first quarter.
Yeah, not necessarily the prettiest footy you've seen, but Wanderers just making sure their kicks are to advantage, and they're working it forward any way they can. That one, no exception. Not the cleanest toe poke forward, almost from Fuller, but just got it where he needed to Ferreira, who finished it off easy as you like from the top of the square. Back in the middle, Archard again. I think that's about 4 from 6 first touches he's had. Unfortunately, that one for him, not to advantage. Inside 50 again for the Wanderers, getting a run on it at the moment, picking it up and working back through traffic. McDonald, ball turned over. We'll have a ball up inside the forward 50 for the Muck-Mucks. Umpire Cooper Bayman throws it up. Tonight he's joined by John Bayman and Jacob Port. Wanderers dangerous inside 50, work it back to a loose man. Then he goes a short one inside the centre corridor. Just 15, you'd think, finds Tyson White. As we said, inside the centre corridor, just inside 50 as well. Has a decent opportunity here to kick their third in a row.
Tyson White came through the junior grades with Wanderers, his second full season in Premier League football, and he's a handy type and a strong kick, as that one's going to go right to the line. I think it's going all the way, but just offline to the left and through from behind. But yes, a strong kick there from centre half forward, had the distance covered, but just offline, and now it's Bradley Stokes bringing the ball back in and finds his brother Jared at half-back.
Bit of a slow start tonight from Stokes and the Buffs midfield. Archard obviously having a pretty significant impact, but no one's really been clean at ground level. Wonder how that can change. Here comes Stafford, picks it up off the half volley, and then we'll get it back. Now rolls onto his left and just belts it forward. One-on-one inside forward 50, bounces over the back. Holtfitz could get to it. He's got support there in Campbell. Holtfitz will soccer it forward. Just the wrong side of the behind post as well, and out for a boundary throw in.
How's the kick from Stafford? One step on the left foot, and he's banged it 50 or 60 metres into that forward 50, and yeah, it just breaks the game open, doesn't it? Gave Holtfitz a chance, but it just didn't bounce the way he needed it to, and came off his boot and over the boundary line. But they've got a stoppage in their forward half and got a chance now, but it's Wanderers first hand on the ball and clear it away again. Choosing to go back up the corridor where there's plenty of Buffs players as the ball gets thrown around a bit, and strong tackle this time on Thorne, but Jared Stokes for Buffs swings around. It's coming back, but just kept coming back. And that was from 40 metres out. That was a fantastic effort. He had teammates screaming at him, but I think he did the right thing in the end. He was under plenty of pressure, but got a fair piece of the ball, but just offline.
Off your screen and up forward, Jack Truan looking very dangerous, just snuck out the back. If Wanderers had gotten a clean ball there, he would have been away for a 2-on-1 inside 50. Mark can't be taken there by Dos Santos. Buffs again just trying to work it forward. A dribbler will go inside 50 and then bounce off the chest and the outside 50 again of Fuller. Zach Fuller, that is. Now wrapping up in a tackle is Matthew Motlop, and we'll have, looks like there's been a slight high touch on a little bit of a niggle around the ball. goes up now, contesting in there. Atkinson comes down to Simpson. Good smother. Eldridge putting some body pressure on. So too Simpson now, enough to turn it over. Can't take it cleanly though. Oh, cheeky look-away handball there from the big Stafford. Caught it. I think he's almost sitting on it there in the back line. And umpire John Bayment will ball it up.
So Atkinson doing the ruck work for Darwin. Got his hand to the ball, but ground level, it's Wanderers. The teammate wasn't expecting to be.
Again, good body pressure.
Yeah.
Good defensive pressure from the Buffalo forwards.
A little bit happening off the ball again, but nothing serious. And Bradley Stokes picks himself up as another ball up. Campbell's in there, but he got bundled out of the way, and fighting hard in there was Pearce. He got the clearing kick, but straight into the hands of his opponent, Lockie East, who kicks long down towards full forward, and the mark taken in the back half by Horrigan. And Horrigan calling for people to lead on the outer side, but doesn't have a lot to go to, so goes the short option instead. And the mark taken there by Bake, who just slows things down a bit for Wanderers, and now runs past the player on the mark and kicks along around the outer wing, but that might go over the head of his intended target down there, as it's close to the boundary line and seen over, and it'll be a boundary throw in right on the wing on the outer side of the ground.
Wanderers have done well here. Almost all of the last 4 or 5 minutes it's been exclusively in the Buffalo's forward line, but Muck-Mucks have weathered the storm. Don't think they've conceded a point in that time. Their first two earlier on in the quarter. And Wanderers now could hurt them with a 4A forward, though they need to be better than that working forward. Taking the mark is McDonald on half back. He's got Eldridge, a short one if he wants. He'll keep it down that far side. That might be Simpson out there.
Yep.
Again, just nothing pleasing him up forward. So he'll make the most of it. Wanderers interchange. Riley's got a loose in that back line. Kick it down to this near side wing now. Beautifully weighted pass there. Has found Sketcher. Again, he doesn't really like anything he sees, so he'll kick into space. Couldn't take the mark there, was Motlop. Eldridge trying to get hands to it. But Motlop works it out, gets it to Maraka. Short one over the top. And again, just probably not clean enough with that kick. A bit too much on it. Over for a boundary throw in.
Yeah, both sides happy to look for the short option where they can. Just the delivery not spot on at the moment, so we've seen some turnovers and stoppages, but in the ruck contest, the big fella Cox got his hand to it for Wanderers. The hand pass comes out. Bradley Stokes quickly throws it onto the left hand, gets it forward. Campbell behind, got a hand to it to just nullify a bit. He comes in again to smother and give Buffalo's the advantage. The ball spills back to Campbell, who quickly saw a teammate out wide in Harrington. The ball bounces in his favour. Now he swings around on the right, steadies himself, kicks towards goal, and that's a beautiful finish from Harrington. Jordan Harrington for Darwin, and yeah, not insignificant that Matty Campbell was involved a couple of times there, Will.
Yeah, did very well. The senior head there in Campbell. A few smothers and a few 1%ers already tonight. Definitely leading from the front and providing a bit of leadership and offensive pressure in the forward line there. Good work from Harrington. Almost got a very unkind bounce, but just managed to keep control of the ball and steered it home for their first of the night. 1-2-8. They trail Wanderers 2-1-13. 16 minutes gone in this first quarter here at Gardens Oval.
Yeah, good goal for Darwin to get. I think they deserved that. The game has been pretty tight, pretty close, and yeah, deserve to get on the board and give themselves a bit of confidence as Archer back in the centre of the ground doing the ruck work. Stokes with the clearance this time, gets it down towards half forward nicely, picked up on the half volley by Simpson. He gave it out wide, and ball going forward. It was Holt Fitz. It's Wills on the left boot, gets it back towards the top of the goal square here. Oh, the ball bobbling around. Collinson picks up, looks for the hand pass back to Holt Fitz. He's tackled with the ball and gets it out, but Wanderers managed to scramble a kick out of defence. But Buffalo's set up pretty well behind the ball as Matty Campbell delivers out wide, and he finds his coach in Philip Wills, who's pointing long, kicking to the top of the goal square to a one-on-one contest here. Good work, but the ball eventually spills Buffalo's favour. Comes to Jared Stokes now. He's under pressure. Caught by the jumper. Gets the hand pass out eventually. Timmy Eldridge in there. Crowd claiming that he was held without it, and that's the way that the umpire's seen it. And Tim Eldridge, just the ball fell out of his hands and then held in the tackle. And he gives off to Jared Stokes, just walking around the back here. I'm not sure he had the momentum really to do any damage there as the ball floated across the face of goal and punched away and over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Yeah, a little bit happening off the ball. Eldridge just cops a bump and hits the deck. He did very well in that last tackle and free kick. He got almost feign taking possession and drew the tackle and was caught without it. But not sure if it was the right move to give it off to Stokes, as you said, who probably didn't have momentum behind him. Snap-on goal from Buffs offline will be an uncontested mark in the back pocket and a play on as Wanderers look to rebound again. Here they go. Under pressure with Simpson, but kept it in possession. Now evades one tackle on the 50, launches from the paint to the top of the square. It'll go, floats through, touched, and through for another behind.
Almost carried all the way then, but yeah, just another behind. But Darwin starting to apply the forward pressure now as Wanderers bring it out of defence. Some nice work there in tight by Friel. His short pass missed the target. The hand pass comes out to Archer, who's unaware of the tackle coming from behind, and that's Truan, who's worked all the way up from the forward line to make that tackle, and now he moves the ball on quickly. He's got players out the back. It gets over the top on the bounce to Waite. Waite just puts it back into the corridor and swinging round with a snapshot at goal. It's going to be close, I think. It might have snuck through. I think it has. And Jeremy Piercy it was who kicked it and just held up in the air. There's a little bit of breeze there, and I think it helped it float back through the goal.
Yeah, very well done by the Wanderers there. Caught the Buffs on the rebound, and great finish there from Piercy. Jack Truan, definitely the danger man tonight. Yep. He had a very important play in the middle of the ground there. We know he kicked the first goal of the night from a tight angle, and he's also looked very dangerous, just drifting off his opponent a little bit too easily at stages throughout this. Keep an eye on him.
So back in the middle of the ground, and it's Kane Cox to do battle against Archer again. Archer couldn't take possession on the second attempt. The ball kicked forward. Campbell in the middle of the ground, but good work by Motlop. Got the hand pass forward, and there'll be a high tackle here and a free kick going the way of Wilkes of Wanderers in the middle of the ground. As we tick into time on here, Wilkes has something he likes on the outer side. It's Cox that was out there was the target, but there was a couple of Buff defenders, and a free kick's been given here to Archer. He goes short inboard looking for Matt Campbell. It just fell at his feet, but he was clever enough to pick it up and deliver on the outside. There's a bit of a chop there, but ball spills over the back. That could be away as Bradley Stokes picks up, then gets tackled and loses possession of the ball. I think he'll be penalised here.
Just not clean enough there, Stu.
Yeah, that's right. And Keelan Fijo goes short to Crofts. Crofts inside forward 50 again, and the pass is good and the mark is taken, and it's Truan again. He's, as you said, Will, he's dangerous up forward and in the right spot there. Strong, clean hands, and he'll go back for a set shot from a pretty similar position to where he kicked his first goal.
So he's done it already once tonight. Looked very dangerous and could extend their 10-point lead here. In comes Jack Truan. Makes the umpire work for it, pushes that one across the face. Well, he extends it, albeit by a solitary point, up to an 11-point margin, 3-2-20. Wanderers leading the Buffs 1-3-9. Time on, as we said, in this first quarter here. And Buffs work it long down this near side wing. Getting a hand to it there was Fuller. But the Buffs keep possession. Now they cross in the middle of the ground. And I think this here might be McBean, who works inside 50, bounces off Stafford's chest. Then, not a good handball inboard. Keep possession, but there's a lot of Wanderers around them here. Almost would take a ball up at the top of the 50. That's what they'll get.
Yeah, just again, Will, not taking the ball cleanly really puts the pressure on as the opposition players close in. So that's what causes that congestion there as Wanderers with the hit out, or the clear and kick is smothered. Oh, some clever work in tight by Holt Fitz. Throws it onto the left boot, straight down the centre corridor and coming over the back. I think that's Chris Atkinson.
Yeah, great mark there from Atkinson. Just jumps and caught it at the right time. Caught it at the height of his leap.
So, yeah, just a bit of magic there from Holt Fitz. Made some space where there wasn't any and managed to get a kick forward quickly. And, of course, get it in quickly to a one-on-one and gives your forwards a much better chance.
In comes Atkinson for the Buffs second. Puts a lot through that one. But looks like it's gone way offline and just missed for a behind. Even scoring shots, but Buff's radar is off tonight so far.
Mitch Taylor, Wanderers captain, to bring the ball back into play once again. He's looking grandstand side, wants something up the corridor, but goes long instead. Archer there reaches up and just too big and strong, and he takes the mark as the siren goes. I think he's going to go back and have a shot, but would be the best kick of his career, I would imagine, if he kicked this one. He's inside the centre square.
He's a big boy, so he probably has a big hoof behind him, but just depends on if he can get onto it right. Looks like he's going to go for the barrel. In he comes Big Ben Archard. He's gotten half onto it, but not enough. It'll fall about 25 metres short.
Yep, the Wanderers players make sure that it doesn't bounce and go anywhere. So a pretty good opening quarter, a 10-point margin at quarter time. Just Wanderers taking more advantage of their opportunities, I think, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Buffs definitely had their fair share of play, but just couldn't get dangerous enough inside their forward 50. Realistically, they had about 3 sort of legitimate shots on goal. They went through for 1 goal and 2 behinds, and 2 other behinds probably just scurried through with not enough, just not enough, just didn't get into a dangerous enough position to make it count.
So at quarter time, it's Wanderers by 10 points. We'll be back with the second quarter shortly.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Back to Gardens Oval for the second quarter of this round 7 clash, the opening game of round 7 between Wanderers and Darwin. Of course, Indigenous round 7 in the NTFL this year, and great to recognise all of those fantastic Indigenous players, volunteers and supporters that have helped over the years and continue to do so and make our game great. But at quarter time, it's Wanderers by 10 goals and really by 10 goals, by 10 points, and really it's just that they've looked a bit more dangerous in their forward half, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they've definitely made the most of their opportunities, getting it to that hot spot, that dangerous spot at the top of the goal square, and just letting the easy stuff happen for their forwards. Buffaloes, though, they lay it early tackle on through Simpson, work it forward of centre, and looks like they will be using the wings tonight. As you know, at Gardens Oval this time of year after a big rainfall, that centre square can get a bit muddy and sloppy. The centre square just to the grandstand side tonight of the centre circle is of the centre square, as Buffaloes try to get it out of their defensive 50, but a perpendicular bounce takes it over the boundary line.
Yeah, Tim Eldridge sprinting back to it, but couldn't get to it in time, and so a boundary throw in just forward of centre for Wanderers. As this one falls a bit short, Archer gets there, gets a hand pass over the top to the advantage of Jared Stokes. He drills the ball in towards Stafford. He couldn't take it, the sliding mark on his knees, and Wanderers tidy up nicely in defence with the hand pass from Calvin to White, and Wanderers get it down to centre half forward once again as there's numbers there, a scramble for it. A high tackle has been called here, and it's going to be a Wanderers free kick at half forward, and it'll be Murray Waite who will take the kick, and I think he's probably favoured by a bit of breeze going that way, so player on the mark is about 3 metres inside the forward, the 50-metre line, so kicking from right on the line. The kick's high. It's the distance looks pretty good. It's going all the way. It's going all the way through. So the first goal of the second quarter goes to Wanderers through Murray Waite, who received that free kick in the pack, and he went back and banged a long one straight through. A good finish. Another one who's looked pretty lively in their forward line tonight. Again, they probably haven't seen as much down there as the Buffs have, but just making the most of their opportunities. Showing on the scoreboard, 6 scoring shots to 5, but Wanderers with a 16-point lead. Yeah, that breeze just feels like it's picking up, if anything, at the moment. So, and favouring the right of screen that Wanderers are kicking towards the city end of the ground. Umpire Jacob Port to get play underway again in the middle. Looks like Phil Wills has moved himself into the middle to start this second quarter as well. Wanderers extract it and a little bit too easily there. They're not a good kick inside 50. Here comes Wills now, pounces on it, wrapped up in a tackle, ball spilling out. Just paddled out now there by Stokes, and then comes across. Oh, good pressure on there. I think it was from Campbell or from Eldridge. Free kick will go to Wills. Looks for the quick option in Archer at half back. A short pass out wide again. McDonald. Not a good kick. Don't know where he was looking for, but he's kicked it straight down the throat of Maraka, who now he goes into the forward pocket, and an uncontested mark. Too easy to the danger man, Jack Truan. Yeah, the turnover just killed them, didn't it? They were all heading the other way, and clean hands in the turnover, and the kick inside 50 was good, and Truan again able to find space, and the delivery was excellent to him. So Truan this time on the outer side of the ground. He'll be kicking from about 45. In he comes for his second of the night, just trying to will it back, but push through for another behind. I think 1-2 he's got. Buffs potentially let off the hook. Need to make this one count. It's only a 17-point margin here, but I think they've only kicked the one goal. That could get out of hand very quickly. In Stokes to Stokes. Keeping it relatively narrow at the moment. Now out on the Botanic Gardens side wing. Oh. Good mark there taken from McDonald. He's been pretty lively on that
back flank, back pocket tonight.
He's looked good, hasn't he? He's fitted in nicely in that Buffs defence as Collinson chips the ball inboard to Hutchison. And now Hutchison looking to send it to Jared Stokes again. He's left unmarked in the middle of the ground. He wheels around on the right boot now. Chips a pass in. McBean reaching up, couldn't get his hand to it, and Mitch Taylor claims the mark and delivers straight up the middle of the ground to Waite. He gives off by hand to Sinclair, who went by hand, and now Wanderers down to half forward, but Buffs have got the numbers here as it's tidied up by Bradley Stokes, but his kick is touched in transit, and that just allowed Wanderers to pounce on the loose ball, but well read in defence again, and Archer working back this time takes the intercept mark and delivers out wide to Lockie East. East goes around the outer side again, and Hutchison takes the mark out at half back for Buffs on the outer side of the ground. Goes along the line, but there's only one blue and a number of yellow jumpers out there as Piercy worked his opponent under the ball and took the mark nicely, but that's not a good kick, and gives Buffs a chance as the tackle's laid. But again coming in was Billy Crofts, who got the hand pass out, and hand pass comes back to Taylor, who chips to the outer side of the ground, and the mark taken by Zach Fuller out there.
Scrappy few minutes, as you can hear the wind picking up on the mic there. But yeah, this game has really just dropped off the last sort of 2 passages of play or so. No one's really offering any options to their teammates here. Wanderers inside 50 through Waite, kick the last goal. Now it comes out, and again, just Fijo not really helping his teammate. Toe poked very close to the boundary line. Oh, and I think that might be a free kick going the way of the Buffaloes. Kane Cox just giving a high one off to his opposite number there. I think it might be Lachlan East. Now he goes across goal. Oh, bit of pressure there on Archard, but safe hands. Now pushes it out to Spry. And again, just pokes it a little bit further over the top now with Sketcher. Nothing being offered to him at all. A lot of stagnant bodies up forward. I think he's hit his teammate Simpson. It's bounced off the deck. Campbell just paddles it over the top. Dos Santos tunnel board it through.
Oh.
A bit too cute there. Someone had to pick it up in the gold and blue jumper there. Now paddle, work back through traffic. Simpson and Stokes, a little 1-2. Stokes over the top in the centre of the ground. Good mark there, beautifully weighted. Now working it back. Harrington gets it off and kicked onto that far forward flank. Running back with it, Collinson. Almost looked to move it on pretty quickly. Now goes back to Harrington, their sole goal scorer for the evening so far. Good kick in the forward pocket and earning himself a free kick there. Kyle McBean, former Waratah player, won the Div 1, now known as the Prem Reserve's leading goal kicking medal a few times, so he knows this oval pretty well, Stu.
Oh yeah, he spent a lot of years here, and was good running by McBean actually. He was involved in the play just in front of us here in the grandstand, and he's sprinted down to give an option in that forward pocket and got rewarded, and just catching his breath and going back and taking the set shot now, but he's out very deep, close to just inside the boundary line out there.
So Kyle McBean, again, tighter angle, but he knows this ground well. That one just punched through on the line from Mitch Taylor, and 1 goal 5. Buffs need to start making the most of their opportunities. Taylor goes in, short target. He finds Calvin. Now goes back to Taylor in the goal square. Another short one out wide. Again, back to Calvin. They'll try again. He takes a bounce. Still in that centre corridor now. Pushes it out to this near side wing. Good work from Jack Truen. He'll take it and go. Oh. Takes one bounce. Impacted on the bounce and loses the ball. Umpire lets it go. Then just dribbled forward there. I think it was Fuller. Gets it into the hands of Motlop, and he kicks it into the centre of the corridor, and he finds Ferreira, who's kicked one tonight already.
Yeah, it was a clever kick from Barrington Motlop. Just put it to the danger area. Probably heard the voice, and Ferreira took a nice mark, and he'll go back for the set shot. So I thought Truan might have hurt himself a bit in that exchange earlier. It was an interesting option to go for the bounce as he was about to be tackled, but got away with it. Davin Ferreira taking plenty of time with this one. He's got about a 25-metre run up here, although he's walking most of it. He's
umpire calls play on. Bit of pressure put on him, but he likes it. Arms go straight up, lets the Buffs know about it. And
knew exactly what he was doing. Yeah, a good set shot goal from Ferreira. We saw in the first quarter he got a bit of a cheap one out the back at the top of the goal square, but yeah, he knew his routine and stuck to it, and kicked the goal. So Wanderers opening the second quarter with the first 2 goals have just split the game open a little bit with the margin out to 22 points. So Will's in the middle of the ground with Simpson and Chris Williams.
Fuller doing the ruck duties for Wanderers. A little bit undersized in there, as we've seen. Archard's gotten most of first use, but midfielders at ground level just can't seem to do as much with it as it's another centre clearance for the Wanderers, though that one is well wide and out on the full. Campbell, or Eldridge it is, will try to move it on pretty quickly. There's a player down. Play will stop and it'll be brought back. In fact, it was Campbell with that initial kick. He'll take it again from half back.
Yeah, it's just a bit of byplay off the ball between Shane Thorne and Timmy Eldridge. A couple of old stages. All good now though, as Campbell chips inboard to East, and East off and running from half-back. Has a bounce, gets run down from behind, but manages to shrug the tackle, kicks high into the centre of the ground, and that's a terrific mark taken by Archard. He's really having an influence on this game as he kicks the ball out wide, and running with the flight of it, taking an excellent mark, was Timmy Eldridge. He gets a bit of attention after the mark's taken, and he'll win himself 50-metre penalty, and that'll take him right down to only about 20 metres out from goal, I would have thought.
Golden opportunity here for the Buffs. Need to make these ones count, and yeah, just undisciplined there from Dos Santos. Not the most obvious one there, but still there nonetheless.
An important one for Darwin, this one, and Eldridge will know that. He'll be kicking from only about 15 or 20 metres out. Not much of an angle, so yeah, very experienced player, Timmy Eldridge. Been an important player in the Buffaloes lineup for many years as comes in with the set shot. Oh, the goal umpire's done a lot of work and he's missed that. So, gee, that's an opportunity that they really couldn't afford to miss as they try to peg back this margin that's starting to increase. And Mitch Taylor just chips it in short into the back pocket to Horrigan. And Horrigan just slows things up now, and he'll go long down the line on this grandstand side. Fuller coming in to get involved in the contest through Archer's hands. Off the back to Bradley Stokes on the left, delivers inside forward 50. Good vision, good kick on the left foot. And the mark taken inside by Harrington. And he has a chance to score his and Darwin's second goal.
He's gotten himself into some pretty handy positions tonight up in that forward line. Looks pretty sneaky. And again, an uncontested mark there. Let's see if he can capitalise for them. He won't capitalise on the scoreboard, but that's very good work, spotting Simpson with a short, sharp lead in her closer position to goal.
It's pretty poor work from the Wanderers' defence, though, isn't it? He was all by himself out there, and yeah, smart move, and he'll have the chance with the set shot.
So Tom Simpson, one of their better performers so far this year, comes in, shot on goal again, makes the umpire work, but not as much. And finally they get their second, 2-6 they move to, trailing by just 15 points. It feels probably like that's a fair assessment of where the two sides are at the moment. That 2.5 goal lead going the way of the Wanderers.
Yeah, that's right, Will, but you know, it just another quick goal or two, and Darwin are right back in the contest. And Yeah, that was a good build-up and a much better shot for goal. It just kept it low into the breeze, and yeah, it was powerful enough that the wind didn't take any effect on it and banged it through. So a good finish, good result for Darwin.
Atkinson now assuming ruck duties for the Buffs. Much easier task for Fuller, but couldn't get the hit out again. And they try and work it forward. Eldridge picks it up. Just a short one. Not really in favour of his teammate. He'll dribble over the boundary line. Handy position, though, as we said. Just 2 goals, and they're right back at the cold face.
Yeah, big Will Irwin was the target that time. We haven't called his name tonight. He hasn't really got involved in it too much, so Buffs will be looking to get him into the game as the hit out comes out and Wanderers clear it away around the outer side of the ground. Matt Campbell gets 2 hands to it, try to thump it towards the boundary line. Now comes in and lays the tackle as at ground level fighting for the ball was Keelan Fijo and got stripped of it in the end, but Buffs couldn't keep it in, and it'll be a boundary throw in on the outer wing. Atkinson again putting his hand up to do the ruck work for Buffs. And he'll be up against Fuller as Fuller tries to flip it over the back. Does pretty well to get it to Pearcey, who hooked the ball around and taken nicely by Waite in the centre square. Gets the hand pass to a runner going forward. Now there's a one-on-one in the forward line, and that one's just snatched beautifully. And it's Truan again, who's out in front, but clean hands as that ball looked like it almost could have gone out of reach over his head, but just reached up and snatched it about 20 metres out on a slight angle.
Yeah, just got himself in a better position there, Truan, and then I think Lockie East, his defender, had to kind of work overtime to try and make an impact on that contest, and in the end it was almost an uncontested mark. Truan, a few shots on goal tonight. That one is second goal straight over the umpire's head and takes the margin back out now to 21 points.
Yeah, good build-up and a good finish, and Truan's been the dangerous forward all night, and now starting to get some reward on the scoreboard for the work that he's doing in that forward half. But yeah, they're pretty hard to stop when they come in quickly and relatively low like that, with when a player's got a couple of metres out in front. But Wanderers get the one back that they just conceded and stretch that margin back out to 21 points, sorry. So Archer back in the middle for Buffs, up against Fuller. Archer just lays it forward. Jared Stokes busy trying to work his way around opponents to get to it. The ball came out. The free kick and an advantage paid. Pearcey takes that straight down the middle of the ground. Well, the mark spilled under a bit of pressure there as it comes out, and now working hard at ground level with Sketcher for Buffs, and he'll be rewarded with a free kick for a push, a bit overzealous in the tackle in there, and so he's got a loose out here, and McDonald gives that a bit of air. It's going to make it tough for McDonald, and just running in was White and got it on the second attempt. Kicks to a one-on-one in the goal square. It's punched away from behind, but Wanderers got some numbers there. Solid contact between 2 players, and again as the advantage looked to be taken, and yeah, Bradley Stokes took a bit of exception to what was going on there, and so there's the umpire's blowing the whistles and just trying to sort out what's going on. But
Ferreira in a little bit of discomfort there. Plays now sort of separated a little bit.
So it's going to be a Wanderers free kick here, which I think was probably at the initial one.
Looks like it'll be Truan taking it again. Kicked the last goal and kicked, I think it was the first one of the night back in the first quarter.
Yep.
And again, a bit more action off the ball. Will be a 50-metre granted to Jack Truan. That one looks like it's going against, might even be Harrington. He's been one of the more influential players for the Buffs tonight. I guess good and bad. Truan, easy as you like, pops it over the top. And another goal for the Muck Mucks.
Yeah, just a bit of undisciplined stuff starting to come in now, and Buffaloes especially really can't afford that as that lead starts to climb, and they try to hang into the contest here, but yeah, it's just temper's getting a bit frayed, and the discipline goes out the window. So another goal to Wanderers. They've kicked 4 for the quarter to Darwin's 1 as we almost tick into time on in this second quarter here at Gardens Oval in the TIO NTFL Men's Premier League. But good work out of the middle. The hand pass comes out to Crofts, who goes long straight down towards the goal square. I think there might be a holding free kick paid here. It'll go Darwin's way, the way of Kaya Jones. Jones goes long to the outer side of the ground. Just a bit of chopping in the marking contest there, and so Archer will take the kick.
Time on in this second quarter. They'd want to try and sneak one in red time while they can. Archer told to play on. Just again down the line, looks like it'll be an easy grab for Taylor, though it bounced off his hands. Here comes Eldridge running through, breaking the lines, kicks it forward to no one. It's out on the full. Opportunity wasted, and ball rolls over the hill there.
Yeah, over the fence, over the hill, so be a small delay as Riley Calvin retrieves the ball for Wanderers to bring it back into play. But a pretty productive quarter for Wanderers, 4 goals to 1, as I mentioned, and I think coach Aaron Motlop would be pretty happy with where they're at coming into half-time. So Calvin now runs around, gives himself some space and kicks long along the wing. Ball that slips over the back, but a quick kick inboard into space. Wanderers are going to be first there at ground level, but the Buffs players come in to put the pressure on. Philip Wills in there scrambling, reaches in and pulls the ball from under the pack, but his kick just falls to the advantage of Mitch Taylor, and he's just telling his teammates to settle things down as he kicks out wide and finds Friel. Friel goes short, but too long over the head of his teammate there, and this gives Darwin a chance as Bradley Stokes uses the hand pass to Chris Williams. He's trying to get it out wide. Clever work with the punch forward, comes to the hands of Atkinson. He hand passes over the top to Hutchison. Hutchison on the left, just a little bit too much air for Holt Fitz that time as the Wanderers defenders get back there, and they work the ball over the boundary line for a throw in the left forward pocket for Darwin.
Yeah, dangerous position again here for Darwin, but they need to make it count. Holt Fitz looks lively in that last passage of play without even touching the ball, but needs to get his hands on it to have an impact. Goes up now. Taken out of the middle by a Buffs midfielder there. I think it might have been McDonald. Ball at the bottom of the pack now. Comes out, looking on is Hutchinson. And again, just taken over the boundary line there. I think that might have been Fuller. In fact, it was Crofts.
Yeah, Lee Crofts has been pretty solid in the back half for Wanderers tonight, giving them a bit of drive out of there.
Ball up again in the Buffs forward line. Now in the centre square. Here comes Stokes. He could be the danger man. Gets through one. Kick smothered. Shane Thorne picks it up. Another one who I think that might be his first touch of the night. Wayward handball. Here comes Stafford. Another one who could probably get a bit more lively tonight as well. Collinson putting on some good pressure. Good bump by Trewin, and he could be away here if he can take it cleanly. He does. Inside 50 now. Needs to get rid of it. Got pressure from Wills. Snap on goal. And bounces through, so he kicks his 4th of the first half, 3rd of this quarter, and puts the margin out to 33 points in favour of the Wanderers.
Truan's kicked the last 3 goals of the game, but he really set that up for himself, didn't he, with his body work out there on Philip Wills, I'm pretty sure it was. Just got him out of the contest, and he lost his footing, and from there Truan just had open space in front of him towards the goals, and picked up, went round the corner this time, and finished beautifully. So yeah, we've been naming him as the danger player, and now coming into half time he's got 4 goals on the board.
Yeah, having a very good night, Jack Truan. best on ground, you'd say, at this stage, in what's otherwise been a pretty scrappy night at the ball. And danger time goal, which Coach Wills wouldn't be happy with, mind you. He was the one who let Trewin get out the back there, his direct opponent. Defensive mark there from East. Now works it out that far side, looking for Simpson. Plays on, just a grubber along the ground. Overran it there was Harrington. Wanderers, good pressure there, just to spoil the contest, but Simpson will have another touch on that far side. Gets it over to Stokes. Makes sure of it again to Harrington. Same name's doing a lot for the Buffaloes. They need more players to lift, and that could be a free kick. It will be a free kick going the way of Daniel Stafford, and you'd think he's a pretty handy player to have the ball in his hands close to half-time.
Yeah, he's a thumping kick, and he was out on the lead that time. Just got interfered with in the marking contest. You'd like to see him take those marks anyway, but yeah, he's a thumping kick there. It'll just be a matter of accuracy here, and normally he's pretty good, so Darwin would desperately love to get this goal as we tick to 25.5 minutes in this second quarter. Just off a couple of steps, Stafford gives that a bit of air, and I think the wind's got a hold of it a bit and pushed it out to the right. So again, something of an opportunity gone missing for Darwin, as you can see the Wanderers players spread, and Mitch Taylor happy to take all the time the umpires will allow him before he brings this ball back into play. And now he's often running out of the defensive goal square and drills the ball up the middle of the ground. It's beautifully directed and weighted to Sinclair. He gave it off, and Trewin again out in front takes a mark here and now plays on. He's got a one-on-one contest in the forward half. Brenton Motlop just was a little bit too high for him, got over the back of he and Philip Wills, and rolled over the boundary line in the right forward pocket for Wanderers. So a boundary throw in with 26.5 minutes gone in this second quarter. Couldn't be too much time left as we wait for the ball to come back into play. In fact, the ball won't come back into play because the siren's gone to end the second quarter, and one that Wanderers really put their foot down, scoring 5-1, and yeah, it's a bit of an uphill climb again for Darwin here at halftime, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, they would have come into this thinking that it's definitely a gettable game. They're not really in the contest at the moment. 32 points down, which a lot of people say is the magic number. Anything more than 32 points, and it's almost as good as game over. So definitely got their backs against the wall. Got an uphill fight coming up after half-time. But with the scoreline of 2-7 to 8-3, they've definitely had their chances too, Stu.
Yeah, they have, and just haven't taken them as well as Wanderers have, and they haven't had that dominant forward that Wanderers have in Jack Trewin. But you will see what the coaching staff, Philip Wills and his crew, can come up with at halftime to try and turn this around and chip away at that margin in the second half. At halftime, Wanderers by 32 points. We'll be back with the third quarter after the halftime break.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro, or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge, or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Welcome back to Gardens Oval for the third quarter of this opening match of round 7 in the TIO NTFL Men's Premier League, and it's Wanderers with all the running in the first half, holding a 32-point margin at half-time after a 5-goal-to-1 second quarter, one in which Jack Truan really burst the game open with the last 3 goals of the game, and he has 4 up until half-time, and really the dominant forward on the ground at the moment. My name's Stu Davis. Will Zwar is with me, and Will, you just took a bit of note of the Darwin huddle at half-time.
Yeah, it was interesting. It reminded me of Nick Malthouse back in the early 2000s. I think Collingwood had a shocking first half, and he sat them all on the ground out like school children, gave them a little bit of a spray, and that's what Willsy's done at half-time. So it'll be interesting to see how they respond. They've gotten the first hands to it so far. Errant handball, though, now with the Wanderers, and a check side forward looking for Sinclair. He's on the move now. Inside 50 they go, and launching a shot on goal from long range. Looks like Eldridge will paddle it through for a behind. Probably not the start that Phil Wills would have called for. An early inside 50 and score to the Muck-Mucks. Now coming out of there, Matt Campbell looks like he's made a move to the back line, get a bit of experience back there.
Yeah, something that's often been done in the past, just to give them a bit of direction from the back half. But Wanderers have turned this one over, and the chance going inside forward 50, and it's Truan again, who's got himself out in front in space, and the delivery was good, and he takes the mark, and we'll have a set shot from out wide in the right forward pocket.
Kicked half their score tonight at least. He's definitely kicked those 2 behinds. Behind his 4 goals, the last 3 of the match as well, if I recall correctly.
Yep.
That one just through for a behind. And again, Wanderers with a few early peppers. Campbell out to Wills, too experienced. Head not doing what you'd expect those experienced heads to do in a time like this. Turnover at half forward for the Wanderers. Or good strong tackle. Works back into Buffalo hands. Just not being quick enough on the ball. And then a kick out of half back. Looking down the line at the fall of it. Dos Santos picks it up, rolls it forward. Goes into the lap there, and now through to the runner there in Crofts, inside 50. Good strong mark there taken again by the danger man Jack Truan.
Yeah, Crofts again. He's given plenty of run from the back half and delivery forward, and once again hitting the target, and it doesn't look too much different to what we saw in that second quarter so far. Jack Truan going for his first of the quarter, and again he's pushed that one out to the right, just snuck it in for a behind. So a couple of chances missed there from Truan, and Matty Campbell gets to take another kick in. He's going long this time, and McDonald takes a nice mark overhead. Terrific kick from Campbell, just saw him in a little bit of space. The switch kick inboard to Wills. Wills goes on the left out wide. I think it's got enough on it, it has, and the mark's been taken, and they play on through the hands to East, who thought about giving the hand pass, changed his mind, and now kicks out wide down forward, and that's a good pass and a good mark, and it might be Irwin who's taken that one. He kicks inside forward 50, but it's too far out in front of Stafford for him to be able to get his hands on it, and beats all players over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Buffs have worked it down into their forward line. 2 goals, 7. Need to make more of their opportunities. Haven't really had too many chances from a likely spot tonight. Can they work one out here into the forward pocket? Holt fits with a check side, goes across the face and out of bounds on the full. We know he can do goals like, he can make some pretty good efforts like that, but when you're 2-7 and staring down the barrel, maybe that's not the time to do it.
Yeah, probably needed to try and centre that one and give his other forwards a chance. But Mitch Taylor, again, coming along out of defence. Thorne up high, got his hands to it, but couldn't take the mark. The ball spilt forward. Oh, just a bit of a fumble at ground level. This lets Buffs in as it comes out to East.
Good spoil there from Dos Santos.
Yeah. So again, a boundary throw in the right forward pocket for Darwin. Another chance, perhaps, to score as Stafford puts his hand up to do the ruck work and wins that hit out, but straight down the throat of his opponent, and Wanderers clear it away, thumped away from behind by Campbell, goes back to half forward, but Wanderers at ground level. Croft's kick smothered that time as that's a tackle that's going to be over the shoulder. It'll be a Wanderers free kick. Simpson trying to say that he lifted the shoulder, but
Archard playing a kick behind the ball as a loose.
Maraka finds Cox just wide of the centre, and again a nice kick and mark taken by Horrigan. This time he's moved downfield from defence. He kicks long inside forward 50. Brenton Motlop gets his hands to the ball, and that's a strong mark in the hands against a couple of opponents, and he'll go back and have a set shot for goal from about 35 out. Brenton Motlop, of course, made his name in the NTFL as a full-back, but in recent times has on occasion has been tried at full forward like he has been all night tonight.
Just the two of them in tonight's lineup. I think the most I've ever called Stu was 6 in one game.
Yeah.
Brenton and Matthew typically like the high numbers. Tonight they're rolling in 35 and 39. Here comes Brenton on goal, pushes it a little bit across the face and through for another behind. So peppering them early in this quarter, yet to get a major through. 6 goals clear now. Gets it to the run. I think that might be Harrington again.
Oh, well done, McBean. Swings and goes, kicks long. He's got a runner. Holt Fitch back towards the goal square, and gee, that was good quick movement of the football, and Holt Fitch got out the back, and Kyle McBean just attacked the ball, took it cleanly and wheeled around, and that's probably something that's been missing a lot of the night for them, as Liam Holt Fitch, no problem at all from the top of the goal square, gets his first goal of the night, and despite the chances that Wanderers have had, that's the first goal of the third quarter, and it goes the way of Buffaloes.
You just have needed that link up forward to get a good smooth pass to someone in that centre corridor, probably within even 35 metres out. I think that's almost the first one we've seen for the Buffaloes tonight. Just not enough, particularly in a game like this where it was winnable going into it. Archard now in the middle. As we noted, they've also moved him into the back line during play, and we saw in that first half Atkinson doing the rucking inside the forward 50, so not sure if they're looking to stem the bleeding a little bit, but that's not a bad effort to try and get back into the game. Harrington again working it inside the forward line. Stafford throwing his weight around. Dos Santos boot to ball now, just skies it, gets it outside 50. Punch there from Collinson, spills over the boundary line.
So boundary throwing just outside forward 50 for Darwin, who are kicking to the city end at the right of screen in this quarter, as Wanderers clean hands at ground level, work it out of defence, and comes out here to White. White looking for Motlop, goes over his head. Matty Campbell giving him close attention and trying to work the ball forward at ground level. Had the jumper being held as he was going for the ball, and he'll take the free kick. He's going to waste no time, looking to switch directly across the ground, and he's got a player on the wing there. The ball bounces nicely as the kick comes forward, and now Buffs with the chances. They're running from behind, but Simpson just caught up in some traffic there as, again, the kick smothered as Hutchinson tried to get it forward. The ball squirts out into some space now and comes out to Jared Stokes running through from inside forward 50, and that's a terrific finish from Jared Stokes, and good vision at ground level to get the ball out to him, and he made the most of that chance this time.
Gee, it was an ugly passage of play, but it worked for them, just looking for that next target no matter how they could get it there. Handball, paddle, tap. and eventually to Stokes, who's kicked through. Pretty reliable boots to have it on to try and get it through for a major.
Yeah, and that's probably what they've got to do, isn't it? Just try and get the ball going forward at all costs. They've they've got those players down there. They've got Stafford, big Stafford. They've got Holt Fitz, and players that can make a difference. We saw Kyle McBean attack the ball before and use it cleanly that resulted in a goal. So just get it forward any way they can, as quickly as they can. Might give them the best opportunities as Jared Stokes gets the hand pass and comes over the top here to Spry. Spry inside forward 50 to a one-on-one, just falls short. And there's a free kick. It's going to be a Darwin free kick, and the advantage is taken, and Stafford takes the advantage and takes the goal, and we've got something of a comeback here, Will.
Yeah, back to 18 points. They've kicked the only 3 goals of this quarter. Meanwhile, down the other end, 4 behinds. They peppered them early but couldn't get through a major. And, Buffaloes have gotten right back into this game. Potentially that Mick Malthouse-esque spray has done wonders for the Double Blues.
Yeah, so 3 in a row. It's to start the third quarter after Wanderers, what did they kick? 4 points in a row. So just tells you what a difference the accuracy at goal makes. And back to a 3-goal game, and the crowd's starting to liven up here as Archer hooks that one over the top but misses his target, and it's taken by Piercy, who kicks high down towards half forward, punched away from behind, and it's a foot race at ground level, but picked up by Fijo, who kicks a high one inside forward 50 for Wanderers at ground level, battling hard in defence. The ball's caught in underneath, and umpire John Bement comes in, and he'll ball it up inside forward 50 for Wanderers.
Ball goes up now. Archard again, dominated hit-outs, probably has at least 80% to his name, though not always on target. Been a little better this third quarter. Against the much smaller, at that time it was Billy Cross. He's also been racking against Stafford tonight. Oh, not Stafford, sorry, Daniel Fuller. Buffs now working it out of the back line there. A number of goal jumpers at the fall of the ball there. This one will go from Zach Fuller. Slightly ajar. And now inside that centre corridor. Truan, the target, couldn't find him now. Holt Fitz finds himself in enemy territory. Just bombs it long. Mitch Taylor, you'd think, would be first to it. If not, he'll offer support. Sole runner there for the Wanderers will get a kick. Short one over the top again to Zach Fuller. Now comes into Crofts. Also been up there among the best tonight, Crofts, you'd say, Stu?
Yeah, definitely. He's a steadying influence and solid in defence and gives some drive there, as I've said a number of times. But I've liked his game. And Shane Thorne with the mark out at half forward. Decides a short option, and the pass is a good one. It's Brenton Motlop out on the lead again. So Thorne was patient with that one, waited for something to open up for him and delivered beautifully. So Motlop at the moment, he's standing outside the boundary line out there, so a very tight angle out wide.
Had one shot from a slightly kinder angle earlier in this quarter. That one across the face and through for a behind. This one very, very high. It's coming back, but not quite enough, and another behind. 5 they've kicked for the quarter. Eldridge, or Campbell it was, sorry. Kicks it long. Spills out of the hands of Atkinson. Now with Piercy. Pierces through into the forward line, but turns it over, and that kick rebounding, not a good one. Again, just not really looking for the next target, just trying to get it out of there. A little bit from both sides tonight. Now down that far side. Good mark there. Strong hands by Ferreira, who's got 2 to his name. We'll have to move and we'll work backwards. Again, back to Jeremy Piercy. Taylor now. A little bit of a roadblock here for Wanderers. Only 14 minutes gone, so not quite enough time to slow down the pace, but just can't find that next target. Mark not taken there. Good intercept possession from East. And now Buffs. Oh, this is where... Oh, it was where they had been good early this quarter. That turnover to Thorn has put them in a pretty bad position. And it's the man, Jack Truen, lining up for his first of this third quarter. He's already got 4 tonight.
Yes, Shane Thorn, we know what his past has been. Of course, he's very much a senior statesman these days and isn't a regular in the Premier League side. But a couple of possessions in this quarter have just been bullet passes that have hit the target. And Truen, again, he's just hasn't got that one how he would have liked. And it's knocked through for another behind as Philip Wills takes the mark in the back pocket. He's looking to switch to the top of the goal square, and a hand pass comes off to Campbell, and they look to run it round the outer side of the ground now as the short option was on, and Buff's off and running, but the kick's just got too much on it over the back, working back.
Irwin has 2 to beat.
Yeah.
Now goes over the boundary line, almost claiming he was held. Had a fair argument to make, but umpire will throw it in.
Probably not a bad result for Darwin in the end, with the 1-on-2 out there, and a stoppage in their forward half as Archer takes it out of the ruck contest again. They kick back over the shoulder, just falls out of the marking contest, but there's a free kick been paid. It's going to go Wanderers' way in that pack, and I think it might be Calvin again who will take the free kick wide on the outer side of the ground. He kicks it high down the line. Archer in front position, gets knocked away from behind, and a quick kick inside forward 50. Oh, the mark just spilt there as Simpson gets the hand pass out, but missed the target. Now it comes back to Bradley Stokes on the left. He kicks long towards goal. Holt fits in the goal square again, gets over the top of everyone, but just offline and through for a behind. So clearly that switch of has been Bradley Stokes and Matt Campbell, direct swap from deep back to deep forward.
So far seems to be working. 3 goals they've kicked and haven't let one through down the other end. Mitch Taylor kicking out from full back. Just kicks it high and long, and they've really struggled to find that next target this quarter. Thorn, a likely option, but couldn't take the mark there, or nearly away the Buffs if they could get it forward there. Instead, held up.
Yeah, Collinson just couldn't get that hand pass out into space and had it smothered, so it stifled that opportunity to go forward as Simpson comes in from the side, pats it forward to his own advantage, and then a bit vigorous in the tackle, but play on's the call as Stafford kicks it up, kicks towards goal. It's punched away in defence by Dos Santos and over the line for another Buffaloes behind. So we're almost 18 minutes into this third quarter, and the margin sits at 18 points.
Done that a few times tonight, Dos Santos. Very handy and reliable defender. Puts in the hard yards week after week. The spoil neutralises the contest there on the back flank for the Wanderers at half forward for the Buffs.
So Archer and Cox come jogging in together to contest the boundary throw-in. Archer reads it best, but almost missed with his attempt to knock it forward, and Cox came in late, took possession, but got wrapped up at ground level, and it'll be a ball up this time, just outside of forward 50 for Darwin.
Ball up at the top of the 50, approaching the 19-minute mark of this third quarter it is, and the margin has been reduced to 18 points, 3 straight kicks.
A lot of players around this ball up as Archer just tries to get it out of the congestion with a big punch, but again it's going to be caught up at ground level, but there's a free kick here and it's going to go Darwin's way.
Simpson
it is, yep.
will open up the angle a bit, pushes it into the fat side. Looks like Eldridge will be first to it, makes it tougher for himself, and the result shows that one out on the full. Probably had a bit more time to settle and even improve the angle a little bit.
Yeah, he had a bit of space out there. He was keen to get it onto the boot and hook it back, but couldn't bring it back far enough, so... Taylor again to bring the ball back into play. No one really on the mark, so he's got plenty of space. He decides to chip across the face of goal to Dos Santos. He spilled it, but had time to recover and kicks along the line and finds Thorne at half back. Thorne looking inboard now. Kicks long down the outer wing, punched away down towards the boundary line, but Wanderers swoop on that one, and now a chance to go forward again. They working it down the outer side of the ground. Bate kicks inside forward 50. Oh, cutting across the mark, not taken. Quick hands from Waite, gets it out here to Ferreira, who has a shot at goal. I think it might have gone all the way. It has. And again, Ferreira in the right spot at the right time, and a good finish.
Finally, their first goal of this third quarter, and extend the margin out now to 24 points. As we now in red time, and they'd be disappointed. The Buffs, they've worked really hard all quarter, probably deserve another goal on the board for their efforts, and let a relatively easy one get away out the back down the other end, as we said, late in this third quarter.
Yeah, into time on now, 21 minutes gone, and it just stretches that lead out to 4 goals. And of course Darwin have kicked only the 5 for the game, so it's a reasonably significant margin as we just try to sort of... I think there's a blood rule here down in Darwin's defensive 50 arc, so Paulie Campbell will come on.
Looks like it's Kay Jones heading off.
Jones jogs off.
So in the middle, gee, good leap from the Wanderers ruck in. Kane Cox works it out wide. Piercy picks it up inside 50. He goes. Good strong lead there. It was from Keelan Fijo.
Oh, he's done well there to get around and have a shot at goal. It's going... Oh, right across, and is it going to stay in play?
Alive.
It does.
I think this is Thorne. He has a snap now, rolls it round, and through for a behind.
Wow.
Buffs just caught napping there. They need to really lift their game so late in the quarter. They'll push it out wide. Campbell finds a teammate in Harrington. Now one over the top to Wills. Or made his teammate work, and as Spoils gotten in there, they still have a bit of possession at half back. Stokes' handball intercepted on the tackle, but given a free kick. And 50. So this could almost put him in range. Probably needs to move, probably wants to move quicker, given how late we are in the quarter. Almost would want to look for that next option, Stu, because I think he'll be just outside 50. In fact, where the umpire is outside the paint, so he might be kicking by 60 by the time he gets onto it.
He's obviously thinks he's got the distance here, because he hasn't been in too much of a hurry to get it moving.
Gives himself a bit of momentum.
Oh,
Winds up, and what a kick.
Knows exactly what he's doing, so perhaps there is a bit of breeze out there, but gee, he's really got some power behind that one and thumped it long and straight through, and that's a good goal for Darwin to score late in this third quarter and peg it back to 19 points, and a captain's goal there from Jared Stokes. But Wanderers, their own worst enemy there. Just an unnecessary free kick, holding the tackle too long, and then giving away the 50.
4 goals they've kicked this quarter, so going in down by 19 points at 3/4 time, they'd be relatively happy with that and confident that they're in this game still.
Yeah, it gives them a chance, doesn't it? They're certainly in a better position now than they were at half-time, so from the hit out, they're looking to go forward again. Jared Stokes' first to it, couldn't control it. Clever work by Holt Fitz, bit of Gaelic football work there. Toe poked it up to himself, got the kick inside forward 50. Calvin in the back half, he's under some pressure. Hand passed it straight up in the air and then punched it forward, and the siren goes, so it won't be a score to Darwin, but gee, they had some energy about them at the end of the quarter there, and a winning quarter, 4-1, has turned the game around quite a bit, and really opened the door and given Buffaloes a chance going into the last quarter, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. That 32-point margin reduced to just 19, so Buffs well and truly won that quarter, but can they keep it up, and is the deficit a little bit too much to overcome? We have 20 minutes left to find out in this one, and we will bring that to you after this 3/4 time break.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Welcome back to picturesque Gardens Oval for this round 7 clash between Wanderers and Darwin in the TIO NTFL competition. It's a game that's got a bit of interest back into it after a third quarter in which Darwin kicked 4 goals to Wanderers 1. Must be said though that Wanderers scored 1 goal 7 to. They had plenty of opportunities, but they've left the door open for Darwin, Will.
Yeah, really could have put the Buffs to the slaughter there, but didn't make the most of their opportunities. And Buffs have worked their way back into it. As we said, they're just 3 goals and 1 point down, so 20 points. And coming off a 4-goal quarter, they'd be pretty confident. You'd think they'd need to get a fair bit of that out of Jared Stokes, who kicked 2 goals in that quarter, and Liam Holt-Fitz, who slowly but surely has come into the game here. We know he's got a bit of X factor. Down the other end, Truan kicked 4 first-half goals. Barely touched it in that third, maybe just the solitary behind. We're away now though, and here comes Crofts, one of the better players, gets a handball off to Sinclair. Now into a one-on-one forward. It's Murray Waite who gets it into his possession, but wrapped up in a very strong tackle early, and it'll be a ball up in that forward pocket.
Yeah, Matt Campbell like a terrier there, wasn't he? He wasn't going to let that ball come out, and that's been a half-time move that's really paid some dividends for Darwin and got them back into the contest as the big fella gets the hit out, and at ground level, ball just caught in underneath and a scramble over the top, and Archer will go back in and do the ruck work again for Buffs. It's been the dominant ruckman of the night, and gets this hit out going forward as well as clever hand sees the ball come out here to Eldridge, who's just couldn't keep it in play. It's gone over on the full, and a chance for Horrigan for Wanderers to reset them and drive them forward again. Looks like he's going to go long. Inside forward 50, a big leap from behind. The ball gets out the back. Matt Campbell on the bounce, takes possession, goes one way, then the other. Finds himself some space now, has a bounce and delivers straight up the middle of the ground. That's good use of the football as the hand pass goes out wide. Wills kicks forward and Jared Stokes takes the mark. He's off and running, ducks back inside now, and off he goes with that turn of speed that we know he has a couple of bounces inside 50 now, but the kick's just too long over the top, and Wanderers happy to concede the rush behind through Zach Fuller.
Taylor again on kick-out duty. He's been pretty solid in that back line tonight.
He's got one out here.
Great long kick there. Off to a runner as well. Wanderers are away easy as you like, going down that far side. And then just kicked off the ground by Ferrer again to that one-on-one at full-back. Done very well there was the Buffs play. Campbell's come in and given support through a tackle. Now fantastic. A handball away. Very good work from the senior head there. Now gets it out, finds Wills. He can slow it down. Moves it on, has a man loose on that half-back flank who plays on now and goes down the wing. They look. Ooh. Oh, Taylor, he's come in, almost copped a falcon, but the main point is he got a spoil in, interrupted the play, though the Buffs have kept it on their terms. Now inside 50, picking it up, Bradley Stokes, snap on goal. Umpire barely moves. Stays alive, bounces across the face, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
Yeah, quick ball movement, but how good was Matty Campbell once again in defence? Just won't give an inch down there, and he's blowing a bit now, but he's been really influential in this second half from deep in defence. But quick ball movement by Buffs again, got it all the way down to their forward line and gave themselves a chance, but the boundary throw in Stafford finds himself behind as the tap comes forward, and Wanderers just trying to clear it out of the danger area, but at ground level Holt-Fitz toe pokes it to his own advantage, but now gets it going forward, and this is going to be a mark coming out of nothing once again, and Buffs with a chance to get the score on the board. It's Jared Stokes again, who's spent a bit of time forward. He got 2 goals in that third quarter, but of course he doesn't need to be playing forward to hit the scoreboard, and he's got the chance now to close that margin a little more.
In he comes, and that one not online. Handy point though, brings him to within 3 kicks, and it's just 4 minutes into this last quarter, Stu. Plenty of time ahead of us.
There is. They would have loved that goal to close it to 2 goals, but it's been a bit of the story of the night, not taking opportunities as they should have been, but Taylor in short to Sinclair in the back half. Sinclair hasn't got a lot to go to, so it's going to have to just drive this one long and hope, and that's Archer in front over the back. Cox did really well, but got caught with the ball, had no opportunity to get rid of that. A good tackle at ground level by East as Archer gets another hit, but he had no one there. Hit it straight down the throat of Sinclair for Wanderers. One-on-one contest just forward of centre. Shane Thorne shows a bit of the old magic and now swings onto the left boot. The kick's good, but spoiled away from behind, and now a chance going in, but the kick is not good at all. Had an open goal square and missed everything, and it was Thane Blake, I think, that just kicked it offline and bounced it out of bounds, so it's a boundary throw in. And Archer's running from about 100 metres away to take part in this ruck contest.
Campbell made the interchange. You can see him on your screen now, just getting involved. He and Eldridge desperately trying to get on the field in that passage of, or that stoppage in play. Wills over the top now. Buffs. And it was Simpson whose handball was intercepted, only to go over the boundary line. Another boundary throw in.
So right up against that left hand behind post as Wanderers keen to score down here as the hit out goes forward. Campbell had his hands on the ball, couldn't control it, knocked out of his hands and then wrapped up again. So plenty of desperation around the ball, not much clear space as Archer wins another hit out. This time it's effective, and they've got a chance to clear through East, but that's kick's gone on the road, I would think.
Yeah, so someone's going to run off with a brand new ball.
Yep, we're going to have to find. We'll get one from behind the goal here. So it's Jack Sinclair out there who will take the free kick.
It's like he'll be within paint, but under that old tree, starting outside the boundary line.
He's going to have to come around a bit, otherwise he'll kick it straight up into the tree.
He's gone the check side. Very high, just 3 for behind.
Not a bad effort, but yeah, just the behind, so sneaks it out to 3 straight goals again. And Buffs. The short option from Campbell to Wills. Wills goes short again. It's behind his teammate in Harrington, but he kicks inboard and finds Jones at half-back. Jones now running off and kicking over the top here. Just McDonald had it punched away from him as it came in, and now Wanderers high down towards half-forward. Bit of interference in the contest there, and that'll be a Wanderers free kick. At half-forward going the way of Murray Waite. He's a bit slow getting up, but looks okay now. So
almost looked for the runner. Instead, he'll go himself. Long way out, long kick into the pocket. Ferreira bounces off his chest, then he hit the deck. Last man standing was Harrington. Got a kick very around the body off to Campbell. Comes out now and he finds Spry. Not a lot offering down the line, and there's a loose player in Daniel Fuller. Instead he goes backwards rather than risk the turnover. That might not have been the move though. Just get it over the top and they're away now. They've got it.
They've made it work, haven't they, Will? And got it round the outer side of the ground, and now chance to go forward again, but that kick is not the best, and Mitch Taylor tidies it up pretty easily. Taylor goes short outside and happy to just slow things up. Looks like Motlop out there. Oh, just slips through the hands, and now the pressure's on. McDonald came in and the ball's wrapped up again, so It was Bake who just spilt that mark, but had the presence of mind to stay in the contest and lay the tackle.
Game been slowed down these last few minutes. McDonald, who's good in that first half when they really were struggling, the Buffaloes, but went a little bit missing in that third quarter. Here comes Stokes now. Kicks it forward, 2-on-2. In comes Taylor. Just read the ball, left his opposition forward and has taken a very clean intercept mark. Stafford intercepts and then gathers, feigns a handball on his left, centres it. Simpson kicks it to the fat side. Good strong lead into space. Goes over the top. Could still be on here, and it is. In runs Nathan Spry. Nearly hits the post, but made sure of his dribbler. Reduces it to just a 2-goal margin.
Yeah, that was good. It was a good solid kick from Simpson coming across, and Chris Williams got his hands to the ball, couldn't hold on to it, but Spry was there coming in from the wing, as a good running wingman does. Gets on the end of the loose ball and delivers for Darwin, and 10.5 minutes into the fourth quarter, and that's the first goal of the quarter. So it's been a bit of a stalemate so far, but we have a game that only has 12 points between the sides. It certainly didn't look like it would be that way at half-time, but pretty good effort in the second half by Buffs, and I'm sure they're not finished yet, as Archard wins another hit out at ground level once again. Pearcey working hard for Wanderers. He's had a pretty good night tonight. Had a fair bit of the ball through the midfield, but this time it's a ball up right in the middle of the ground again.
Bit of contact at half-back for the Buffaloes. I think it was Joel Friel who hit the deck. Looks like they're all back with eyes on the ball now. Comes their direction now. Wills bumps Thorne to get in a better position. Might not have worked. Thorne got to the ball first. Now picked up here. It might have been East. Rolls towards the boundary line very tight. Comes in for Ferreira. Snap on goal. Misses.
Yeah, it looked like that was close, didn't it? He's got 3 tonight, so he's got 3. Truan's got 4, and that's 7 out of their 9.
Campbell comes in, finds Holt Fitz very easily. He's got big Archard instead. He'll look shorter to Harrington, who's beaten 2, if you don't mind. Simpson had to wait for it and then just boots it into the pocket again. Open forward line. I think that was almost a double-fisted spoil. Getting to it now will be Horrigan, and he's tackled over the boundary line. Buffs have done very well, just making the most of their opportunities down the ground. It's upfield, it's close to the goal where they've struggled. They've made that change at half-time, as you said, Stu. Bradley, Stokes, Matt Campbell, and while Stokes hasn't hit the scoreboard, it seems to be working. Free kick going the way of the Wanderers, though. Incorrect disposal paid. Not sure where he's going, George Wilkes. Don't play on, or nearly tackled with the ball. Just got rid of it. Finds Truan, who finds himself at half-back. Again, there's a lot of blue jumpers ahead of him. Not much to go to. He's going to go down the line, but try and clear that pack. Thorne the target. Caught behind. Now he picked up. Good ducking and diving there from Lockie East. Over there to Harrington. Now forward very tight. Still in the field of play, but bounces over just a bit too high for Liam McBean. Sorry, Kyle McBean.
So, yeah, just good defensive work from Buff. Set up really well behind the play there, and managed to turn it over, but just struggling to hit that last target going inside at the moment. But they're well and truly in the game with a 13-point margin. It's going to be a Wanderers free kick here. Stafford giving away the free kick in the ruck contest from behind as the kick comes up the ground, and Ferreira takes the mark just at the back edge of the centre square. He's got a runner out wide on the outer side of the ground, gives it plenty of height, but the kick's okay. And now Wanderers going forward again. As the long ball goes into the one-on-one contest down here. Campbell punches away from behind, but Brenton Motlop first to the ball on the bounce, hooks it round the corner. Here's a chance for Wanderers. The hand pass comes over to Sinclair. He's got time and space at the top of the goal square and just walks that one in, bangs it through. So Wanderers at last are on the scoreboard with a goal in this final quarter.
Yeah, important one as well. Takes it out to 19 points. That was the three-quarter time margin, and yeah, a bit too easy there in the end just to dribble it from the goal square, but Buffs not out of this. Expect them to come out firing from this next centre clearance.
Yeah, they really need to win this next clearance and get the next score. We're 15 minutes into this final quarter, just a goal apiece, so you would expect the quarter won't go extra long, so Darwin need to take every opportunity that they can. There's a centre square infringement here.
And it's going the Buffs' way. So Archard, I think he'd just put it on the boot, belt it forward. That's what he does. Taylor's at the fall of it. Double-fisted, could have taken the mark. Handball goes forward, though. Stafford not really moving forward, almost in a position where he could have, and it comes out of that defensive 50. There's three Wanderers players all offering support. That kick goes over the lot of them. By the time McDonald gets onto it, well, he gave it off to East, who takes one bounce. Now works down the line. Good mark there by Dos Santos, read it best.
Yeah, just out-positioned Chris Williams there and got to the drop of the ball and took a pretty easy chest mark in the end as he kicks the ball around the outer side of the ground as Maraka kicks the ball back inboard and finds Horrigan just backward of the centre wing on the outer side of the ground. Horrigan urging players to move forward so that he's got targets to go to. Just goes long down the line, down towards half forward in the end as at ground level. There'll be a free kick there. I think advantage will be paid here as the kick comes into the goal square, but slips over the back as Jones works back and gives by hand to Matty Campbell, who's under a bit of pressure in the goal square, but cool enough to get out of it and delivers nicely to his teammate Holt Fitz. Deep in the back half, he's got a player out wide. That's a good kick to his teammate in Archard, who had made some space. He gives by hand to Spry, and they're often running around the outer side of the ground as the big fella Irwin takes the mark and thumps it long inside 50, looking for Stafford again. Got his hands to it, but couldn't take the mark under pressure, and Wanderers tidy up across half back, but just can't take it cleanly. And Collinson, putting on the pressure at ground level, forces a stoppage right on the 50-metre line on the outer side of the ground.
Yeah, Campbell in that back line there was just looking to move down this near side wing, had absolutely nothing, so had to switch back across goal. Again, it sort of worked for them to this stage. They've managed to get it up to half forward. It's this next step where they've struggled a little bit. Wanderers again getting that rebound, but East will make them work for it. Just overran it. And then Maraka gets it into a few runners in the middle of the ground all by themselves. Where are the Buffaloes? And then there's a player all by himself at half forward. It's a danger man, Jack Trewin. This one, he sprayed it. That would have been his fifth and a really handy goal, but it was ugly off the boot, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's missed it. And Brenton Motlop was in some space about 20 metres out directly in front, but you don't blame him for taking the responsibility. But yeah, you would have hoped that he could finish better than that. But in the meantime, Buffs have worked it around the outer side of the ground, and now the hand pass comes into Simpson. Simpson off and running, delivers beautifully to Jared Stokes, who gives back to Simpson, who kept running, and now running forward of centre, chips inside forward 50, but again can't hit the target. This time Dos Santos overruns it at ground level. The hand pass comes out. There's a free kick here. I think again that's a tackle after the ball's been disposed of, and so Bradley Stokes this time. No one on the mark, so he just waltzes off, kicks long towards goal. It's coming back. It's a goal, I think. It is for Darwin, and that closes the margin again to 14 points. Bradley Stokes got involved. No one stood the mark, and he just ran forward and finished as you would hope that he would.
Good reward for effort for Stokes. He's been really impressive this second half after his move up into the forward line.
So Darwin have got one of those goals back that they need as we hit the 19-minute mark of the fourth quarter. It's a 14-point margin, and the game's tight, but again, it's not going to be an extra long quarter, so everything would have to go right for Darwin from here, you would think. But regardless, I would think that the Darwin hierarchy would be a lot happier with what they've produced in the second half here.
Yeah, time definitely a factor now, Stu.
Yeah.
Chart in the middle. What can he do here? Supported by Holt Fitz. He'll get the first touch, try to handle it over the top, but the runner was a bit too quick for him. And Wanderers will get onto it now. Oh, no, they won't. Ping for holding the ball. Buffs moving it quickly.
Oh, and a free kick downfield, but the mark was taken anyway. But good hustling work from Collinson in there. And now big Will Irwin hasn't had much of a night, but here's a chance to have an effect on the game.
Comes in and kicks it. Umpire's moved. It's come back.
Celebrating.
So that margin now down to just 8 points, 9-11-65. The Buffaloes trailing the Wanderers 10-13-73, and they've kicked at least the last 2 goals, Stu. It's the tally's 3-1 for the quarter.
Yeah, that's right. They have. They've kicked the last 2 in pretty quick time, and some nervous moments on the Wanderers bench at the moment as Darwin just keep plugging away, and yeah, as I said, some excellent hassling work from Joey Collinson. Saw the ball going forward for them, and now we're back in the middle of the ground waiting for the restart, and Darwin looking to go again as up high was Cox, but early as the ball gets kicked down towards half forward for Wanderers, and Ferreira thought he might have kept it in play, but in the end it's going to be a boundary throw-in as Philip Wills, the gentleman as always, hands the ball back to the boundary umpire. I think it's more that he wants to keep the game going. But
kicked over 21 minutes now, Stu.
Yeah, it's going to be tough from here, but terrific contest in the end as Archer wins the ball down. Wanderers first hands on the ball. East tries to punch it forward, but only as far there as Crofts, who was under pressure, couldn't take the ball. East tries to take possession of that. I'm not sure it would have been paid a mark anyway, and now Wanderers forwards desperately just pile in on top and cause a stoppage at half forward. Archer again doing the body work, gets it down to East, but he's under plenty of pressure. Scooped up in defence, and the kick comes out. Atkinson read it well on the bounce, looked to hand pass inboard, gives it back to McBean. His kick was smothered, and now losing his footing was Maraka, and the Buffs players piled in on top and forced a stoppage, but they'll be looking to move this one quickly from the stoppage here as Archer tries to thump it forward. He does so, but Wanderers first hands on the ball. The ball spills out to Cross, who gets a hand pass forward, a hack kick off the ground by Motlop. Goes down towards half forward. Ferreira at ground level couldn't control the ball, but paddles it out to the advantage of his teammate. Gets a hand pass inboard. They've got numbers lining up here. Sinclair picks up, tries to get past an opponent. Hand passes forward, but the players are starting to look a bit tired as the ball goes forward. Truan at ground level couldn't control it. Matty Campbell comes in, bursts through, but carried the ball over the boundary line, and it'll be a boundary throw in the right forward pocket for Wanderers as we approach the 23-minute mark of the final quarter.
Still that 8-point gap. Really tough here for the Buffaloes. In the forward line for Wanderers, can they get a bit more glory before the night is out? Stokes is clearing, kick, run into it, scramble of players. No one can take the football cleanly. It works slightly forward. Thorne hit the puck hard, then dropped the ball as he was tackled. Ping for holding the ball. Buffs are going to move it quickly. Got the handball away. Chris Williams has just socketed it out of midair. Only his father was Riley Calvin, and that will be all she wrote. A torpedo to the top of the square won't trouble the scorers, and in the end it's an 8-point win to the Muck Mucks. Their second of the season, 10-13-73. They've beaten the Buffaloes 9-11-65. Still looking for their first 4 points of 24-25.
Yeah, they had their chances tonight, Darwin, but just gave up too much of a first half lead. They were a lot better in the second half. I think they lined up a bit better with Campbell going back and Bradley Stokes going forward, and Philip Wills spending some time down back as well. But an interesting contest in the end. It was a good contest all night, and yeah, I think you know, realistically, neither team is going to be much of a chance to play finals. So I think there were some positives for both teams to take out of the game, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Jack Truan was really impressive in that forward line. Probably needs a bit more consistency. 4 goals in the first half, 3 of those in the second quarter, but rarely cited in the second half. Meanwhile, for the Buffaloes, well, they easily could have thrown in the towel at quarter time or half time. They were down by, I think we worked it out, that was 32 points, which is a pretty significant margin in footy terms, and especially in the context of the game as well, relatively low scoring. But yeah, they worked their way back to it, and you look at the score of the spread of scorers for the Buffaloes. Jared Stokes, the only multiple goal scorer with 2, and then 6 individual goal scorers behind him in Tom Simpson, Nathan Sprite, Brad Stokes, Will Irwin, Daniel Stafford, Jordan Harrington and Liam Holt-Fitz. The other goal scorers for the Wanderers were Davin Ferreira with 3, and singles to Jack Sinclair, Jeremy Pearcey and Murray White. So 7 of their 10 majors coming from the 2 players.
Yeah, an interesting game, and look, some of the better players from my perspective. I like the game of Jeremy Pearcey actually for Wanderers through the middle, and Billy Crofts off half back. I thought he gave them plenty of drive. Mitch Taylor had plenty of the ball down back as usual, read it well. Truan, of course, was dangerous, and Ferreira kicked 3 goals as well, and Sinclair had his moments. And for Buffaloes, I thought big Ben Archer stood tall all night. He was terrific. Matt Campbell in the second half was great for them. Lockie East had a good game from in the back half all night. Jared Stokes, of course, is always dangerous, and Simpson and Harrington had some pretty good moments as well, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, lots of names there. I think it's a tough task for the umpires who have to pick the 3-2-1 for the night. I think you've hit it pretty well there, though, with some of the better players. I thought Mitch Taylor was pretty good in defence for them all night, and consistency was the key there, and Archard probably the pick of the bunch for the Buffaloes. Again, just consistent all night. Jared Stokes as well, very good, try to get them back in line.
So that's it from Gardens Oval. It's been an interesting contest tonight, and in the end it's Wanderers by 8 points. Of course, there's plenty more TIO NTFL action coming over the weekend in both the men's and women's competition, so tune in for some more great contests. And for now, I'm Stu Davis, and on behalf of myself and Will Zwar, hope you enjoyed the coverage, and we'll catch you next time.